Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome back to another episode of the Catalyst Lifestyle Podcast. I am your host, Sunkissed, and with me is Aria F. Wright. I think I'm gonna let her hold on again like last time. She may not be drinking, who knows? Let's take a look.
You're such a today. First, you don't want to pronounce people's names right, and then you know that's not the right pronunciation. And then you want to leave me backstage, just leave me for dead.
Well, just have a little fun. It's Sunday. Sunday fun day. I'm just saying.
Sunday fun day. The rain.
What's happening? How you feeling?
Oh, I feel pretty good. I need
Mhm.
some rest, but I'm good.
I know. It seems like work has just been piling up. We got shows to do, we got things to produce, we got engineering executors, and tonight we got curators and social media influencers, all kind of goodness. Everybody get your notepad and your notes on your phone and your iPad out and stuff.
And stuff. What'd you do this? I haven't spoken with you. What you've been MIA?
Oh, I've been MIA. I've been MIA. Of course, both of us have been working on tonight's episode, which is going to be awesome. This weekend was great. Had a couple of things I was working on with the family. But however, the week was just really busy. This weekend has been crazy, but next weekend we're taking a day off to do for ourselves, self care, family, so on and so forth. Then we'll be back with another episode, of course. So
Yeah.
that was my week.
Okay. Well, I had a cute little Friday.
Cute
Um,
Friday.
yeah, it was super cute. My sister and I got
Uh-huh.
together with Gentleman Jack whiskey, and
Okay.
we
This was
hosted.
a ladies
Yeah,
only affair. Oh, okay. So I didn't get no damn invite. So I don't know.
no, you're not gonna. But it was I think it was like
Okay.
29 ladies from across the country, and we just really had a great time. And my girl Naima Williams was our mixologist, and she really made us some yummy cocktails that some of us actually made the cocktails, but
Mhm.
some of us got lost in the first cocktail and forgot to pay attention. So she didn't make the second one because she kept adding stuff to the first one and then realized that she forgot to add one key ingredient in the first one. So she just said, you know what, I'm just going to drink what I'm drinking.
It's a mixologist.
Listen,
Certain ingredients.
I'm a shake 'em up kind of guy or gal.
Oh God. Anyway. Well, let me know when it's the gentleman's evening so I can join
Girls
if
Club.
there is one. But I know it's Women's Month coming up,
Yep.
starting tomorrow.
You got to take several seats for the whole entire month
That's
of March.
all right. All right.
Several.
That's how my co-host chooses me. Thanks.
Yep.
All right, we're gonna start with the show. Tonight we will be discussing curators and social media, how to make it work for you. Um, so one of the statements that I've been hearing a lot of, um, but this one particular statement I've been hearing for the past year, which is this has been a time to be creative and passionate. And this is also the opportunity to start your own business, which is now, right? So this is true. However, I think a lot of people that use social media and platforms are still trying to figure out how to monetize their new endeavor that they've embarked on. And like some questions are like, what steps do you have to take in order to turn your passion into a lucrative business? So one of those businesses and passions tonight we'll be talking about is interior design and the passion of home decor, which has embraced our special guests. And we'll discuss their journey of becoming prosperous influencers and entrepreneurs. And they just sharp in their business and they're nice with it. And Instagrams is off the chain. And Aria, can you just introduce the guests?
Sure. Sure. So I'm excited today because I'm excited to learn about some tips and things that I can do. Because I like the ball on a budget myself, so I probably can't afford anything, but it's always good to hear. But
Right.
our first guest is Tamara Bradshaw, and she's a native New Yorker who now resides in Houston, Texas. She has had an amazing professional dance career, and she's turned her passion for home decor into a thriving business. She's always been into fashion and has extended over her fashion passion has extended over to home. So you dress yourself, you dress your home accordingly, is what she says. So I'm gonna say that again because I messed it up. You dress yourself, so dress yourself. No, I did it again. You dress yourself, so dress your home accordingly. She's
I think she can only say it twice as fast.
That's a lot. That's a lot. So she's established a big following on social media from all of her amazing tricks and techniques, and she continues to inspire every day. Her followers love her for her amazing style and fashion and her exquisite decor. She pours her personality into her work, and that allows her to easily connect with her audience. And she is Tamara Bradshaw. Welcome, my lovely Tamara Bradshaw.
Hello, hello.
Hi, Tamara. What's happening?
How you guys doing?
We're good. We're good. How are you doing?
I'm good. Ready to get this combo going.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love that ensemble you got over there.
Thank you.
We animal putting it out today.
I know, right? Love it. Look, why are you rolling your eyes, kids?
Oh, he's such a hater. Like, he's such a hater. Anytime it's more than one woman.
Oh boy.
He loses his mind. He loses it. He doesn't really lose it.
Well, the women are taking over the show today. Sorry, Kiss.
That's fine.
Themselves.
It's no us without y'all. So it's fine. I'm good.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
All right.
I told you to take separate seats for the entire month of March. Thanks.
Who we got next?
But our next guest is KESHA FRANKLIN. KESHA is, of course, living in New York as well. Her intuitive sense of style, creativity, and harmony goes back to her formative years, where she was introduced to the world of beauty and design through her father's vast collection of architectural digests and the renowned GQ magazine. The spaces she reinvents today under Halden Interiors are impeccable. And KESHA's striking aesthetic as an interior designer is not only shaped by her ability to curate color palettes, balanced textures, and distinct furnishings, but is also influenced by her ability to understand and connect with people. With her innate sense of style, KESHA is defined by a commitment to highly personalized service for luxury interiors. Interior design is not just her career, it is her passion, and she is the lovely KESHA FRANKLIN.
What's up, Keish? You're muted, girl. You're muted. Unmute yourself.
I'm trying to do the right thing. Hello, guys. How are you? Happy Sunday.
How are you? How you doing this evening?
I'm good.
All right. So, ladies, first off, I want to thank both of you for joining us this evening, and everyone watching. Thank you for joining us this evening. Again, you can subscribe to us at Catalyst Lifestyle. That is on YouTube, which you're on now, some of you, Catalyst Lifestyle. And then also, for those viewers that's on Facebook, Catalyst Conversation. That's with the K. All right. So you can find all of our guest information on both Facebook and YouTube, and also on our Instagram page as well. Follow them, like their photos, hit them in their DM respectively, as far as any business is concerned. And we're going to proceed with tonight's show. So we're going to start with the first question, which is, how did your personal and this is for both of you, whoever can start first. How did your personal and professional journey lead you to choose a career in style and design? Who would like to take that one first?
Don't everybody talk at one time.
Don't let me get to picking. Don't let me get to picking.
Voluntolding y'all.
Okay, I'll
Tam, go ahead. You go first.
Yeah. Okay. So how you said okay. So my in general, how did it lead to this? Okay. So I still dance. My former life was a professional dancer. Like I've traveled the world and everything. Besides dancing, I've always been into fashion. And then always, I'm from New York. We lived in apartments and stuff like that. I've always been into decorating my apartments or wherever I live, but I wasn't as focused on it because I was busy like working and dancing. So when my husband and I moved to Houston, when we purchased our home and we built it and everything, I really had the access to use my home as my stage. So I am a performer. So this kind of
we lost him.
Slight glitch. That's okay. All right, we're gonna bring her back. Keisha, let me just repeat the question for you real quick. So how did your personal and professional journey lead you to choose a career in style and design?
So I started out in finance, actually, and then because I've always been a creative since I was a young kid, I got into, should we bring Tamara back? Tamara back? No. I didn't even get started yet. So
Tam, go ahead, Tam, finish.
Yeah.
It's a finish. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Of all,
no, it's okay.
Wi-Fi issues. I don't know what's going on. Like I told you guys before. Okay, so bringing the performance issue, I use my home as a stage to bring in a sense of style. Like I said, fashion. I feel like fashion and home decor for me is one. Okay, so that's how I kind of led into this for myself.
Okay. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. So as I was saying, I started out in finance, and because I've always been a creative from a young girl, I also used to do event planning, and I was doing more like weddings and, social gatherings, but then wanted to really take that a little bit more seriously. So I got into corporate event planning, and that really involved like full on production. So I was working for like the Thurgood Marshall College Fund, the Jackie Robinson Foundation, and I was doing galas that were like 2,000 guests. So it was more than just, setting up a table. Like we were literally transforming these huge ballrooms, doing stage design. So that was kind of the first start of kind of like production and designing for me. And then in addition to that, I was a backstage production manager for the Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week for 7 years. So there was this connection between fashion and events that was kind of like already in my wheelhouse. And, not to get into a very long story, but off of a failed business venture where my husband and I had set out to open up a bar lounge downtown Brooklyn near the Barclays, we'd gotten some inside information that was coming to BK. And we set out to open up this space, but just didn't have the full experience to make it happen. But during that time, I was designing, like I was creating this 4-story property and working alongside an architect, and had no clue that I was actually doing what major professional interior designers were doing. I was just doing it because I needed a means to an end. We had to open up this place. But that architect that I worked with, Shanad Bodner, was so gracious that at the end of the project, when we had to shut everything down, he said to me, have you ever thought about getting into architecture or design? And I was like, me, like crying, like we invested all this money and time and energy. And, I had not even thought of that as a career. But when I told my family and my friends about it, they were like, of course, like, that's what you do. Like, you already do that. Like, look at your house. Like, we're always asking you for opinion. And what do you think? And what should we do? And so I would say maybe 6 months later, after I dried up all my tears, I started doing that. And I started to do homes or rooms, I would say, for family and friends, and kind of testing the waters. And probably about maybe 2 years after that, one of the directors of the Thurgood Marshall College Fund actually hired me. He was my first client. And so since then, this has been what I've been doing professionally. And I've had some, pretty awesome successes since that journey started.
How many times have you remodeled your house, KESHA?
Not a lot, our house in Brooklyn, we lived in it for 19 years. I raised my kids. So we had designed it, and, I was that girl during that time. I was not into interior design. I had not chosen this as a profession. So I kind of bought like what I saw was off the floor, like, yep, I like this, I like that, kind of like mannequin shopping, but for your home. And, but of course, added my own style to it as far as accessories and decor. But now, just 3 years now, we've moved to New Jersey. And so now this is my baby. So I'm actually in the process. I started when we first moved in. I've been busy, so I haven't really had the time to focus on my home, but I have a goal set that by the end of the year, it will be complete, and I'll be excited to finally share my point of view for myself and not what I do for clients.
Okay.
That's beautiful.
I know. And then tomorrow, I know KESHA talked about how she kind of used this as used the Barclays experience as a springboard to start her career. But when did you realize that this was going to be a lucrative career for you?
Yeah, so basically, as I started decorating my home and I was realizing that, people were like tuning in, and so many people were encouraging me to start a separate page for home decor. Mm-hmm. And that's when I finally did it. So I started my page. It's been a little over a year for home decor, and it just kind of like took off. It took off like crazy. So I have a bunch of people, like all my followers, I engage with them. They love my content. And that's what it's really all about, literally. So I try to bring the best products to my followers. And I think that's what they really love about my page and everything that I'm doing. I want the best stuff, and all the stuff that I love, and I just want everyone to know about it. There's so many people who have homes, they don't know what to do with it. They may not have the budget to hire an interior decorator. They may not, whatever it is. So they come to my page to learn, basically.
So, how many of those items do you want to keep?
I know.
That would so be me, honestly. I mean, it's like I used to design costume jewelry, and I would eat my profits. I'm like breaking one of these 10 commandments. I get high on my own supply. So I already know, like, a lot of the cool stuff that you say. Okay, I'm gonna let you go ahead. Go ahead, Sunkis, go.
Right.
All right. Well,
yes.
Again, ladies, for both of you, and Tamara, since we're piggybacking off of Aria's wanting some of the items that you may not want, at what point did you realize you were good enough, quote unquote good enough at it, that you thought it would be a viable career path for you?
Okay. When did I know? I think for me,
when did you know, like, it was that aha moment?
I think I knew actually before I even started like the whole home decor page, because I have so much.
Oh. Wow, what's happening over there?
See, it's that Texas weather, man.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
All right, Keys, hold on. I'm bringing everybody back in.
Little technical difficulties today.
Oh, I get it.
Right. We got her back. We got her back.
Either you gotta
go ahead, Tam.
I'm sorry. I don't even understand why this is, but okay. Anyways,
okay.
So
go ahead.
I have a dance business going on, so we have our social media for that. I have my personal page, which I did fashion on, and I kind of started blending in the home decor on my personal page, but I realized like when it started just going crazy, I was like, I got to make a separate page. I was nervous because I already had a large amount of followers already on my personal page. So I was like, oh, should I just keep it blended? But people wanted it all separated. They wanted my fashion separated, my dance business separated, and then home decor. So I kind of knew once everyone kept please beg, like, come on, start a separet page for this. Everybody wanted it separated. Everybody just wanted to come to my pages for particular things. That's when I knew.
Okay. Keish, how about you? I know that your story was beginning with your father, right? And then cultivating itself to where you are now. So how did you know that aha moment, that when you were just like, this is it?
Well, like I said, my first like paid project was in 2009. And then in 2011, I got hired to renovate a duplex condo, and it was a full renovation. So prior to that, I was doing like rooms. Even the project I had got hired for in 2009 was a studio apartment. I want to say it may have been like 700 square feet. It was a really small space. But I think what was dope about it was what I was able to actually do in there creatively. So it was a big impact. But in 2011, this particular project was literally soup to nuts. Like I had renovated the bathroom, we did updates in the kitchen, the staircase, like there was structural updates. We redid all of the flooring, installed hardwood flooring throughout, in addition to, of course, the furnishings and the decor. So it was a full-on project. It was like, I was really able to kind of sink my teeth into it and see the process from beginning to end. And I think that was the time when I was like, okay, this is it. Because to be honest with you, I was struggling with owning the position. I had, when I started to get involved and I was looking at other interior designers that were out there, I was really like blown away and impressed with the level of work. And because of my own personal sense of style and kind of how I was already living, I wanted to deal with luxury design. So of course, when I'm looking at luxury design, I'm thinking, how am I ever going to claim that I'm a designer, like doing this kind of work? Because I just assumed, felt that you had to have the degree, right? And you had to have all these credentials and connections. And I had none of that, none of it. So for a long time, I was knocking myself a little bit like, are you faking the funk? Like, are you really able to say, you're a designer? And what if someone says to you, well, what school did you graduate? Like, what are you going to say? So I was letting that stress me out a little bit. But when I completed that project, kind of similar to the project that I did when I was trying to open up that bar lounge, I mean, I couldn't deny that I had done the work, and the work looked relevant. It wasn't, IKEA, like it was real work that I had put in. And so I want to say that was when I was like, okay, this is it. And from that point on, I really started to hone into the business side of it, which changes, right? Like you're doing this stuff and it's cool. And, it's still business because monies are being exchanged, and there's a transaction happening. But I think when I really started to like say, okay, stop playing and, get some help and get things in order. I would say it was from 2011. And, that experience of actually being able to do that project, I don't know if it's God or if it just happened to be my luck, but I actually since then have never done another room. All of my projects are complete. Wow. Like I get hired in the beginning process. Yeah, I don't do I don't do one rooms or two rooms. Usually when folks are calling me in, I'm doing the entire home or the entire apartment.
Not that one room or two rooms is a bad thing.
Not at all. Right. Not at all. But one of the great experiences of being able to work in that way is that you get to create a cohesive experience in the home, which I think I really love, to be able to really have, there's a connection and there's a flow in the home where there's a seamlessness that's happening. And so I'm grateful for it, actually, very grateful.
So really quickly though, Kesha, there's someone in the comments, Paris Pullen. He says he likes that Empire Bluetooth speaker you got back there. What's this?
Oh, no, it's actually, this is a magnaphone when Empire, the TV show Empire came out, this was actually one of the gifts that they gave out at the screening. So we had the opportunity to go and hang out. But yeah, it's a super cool piece.
Yeah, you got to be in the elite group, the untapped crew.
Exactly. So, all right. So, Tamara, question for you here, and this is something that, you and I talk. I've seen the home, beautiful home. I remember when there was nothing in there whatsoever, and you and Aria know one another. Now you know Kesha, and this is the networking base. And I want to ask you a specific question. And tech and technically, and you are an influencer. So as an influencer, you are in a very unique position to showcase really cool and unique brands, right? So how do you select the brands or merchandise you work with as a style influencer, or do brands seek you out to showcase them?
At this point, brands do seek me out. Like, they pretty much, when you're first starting out, you're kind of trying to trying to figure it out and seek out brands that you want to work with. But when when you get to a certain point, the brands will seek you out, and you kind of just got to figure out, what do which brands do you believe in? What brands do you feel comfortable promoting to your followers? So that's a big thing for me. There are a lot of influencers who don't care. They just get paid, and they're like, okay, they'll promote anything, literally anything. I'm not going to do that. I do not do that. I'm so selective on the brands that I work with. Whether it's a candle company, a chandelier lighting company, whatever it may be, I'm very selective, because I know I don't want to promote anything to my followers that I don't feel comfortable with, or maybe it's a product that is iffy. I don't want to do any of that. I've had several times where that happened, and I've actually had to tell the company, you know what, this product is not good. It didn't work for this reason, this, and that, and I will not promote the product. So I'm very, very selective on who I work with. Very much.
So that's a great position to be in, because I guess when you're starting out as an influencer, you kind of take on a lot of things that you probably would not normally do. But I believe in the long run, it just really increases your value to the people, because, an influencer can be anyone, from anywhere, from any walk of life. They don't necessarily need to be a professional in that area. So
right.
I think what the difference is between someone that is just promoting stuff and being a brand whore, and someone who actually, looks for quality, and they promote and present quality to their followers. I think that's what separates you from, the rest of the pack. So
yeah, I think so. I think that's the big thing with social media and influencers. I think a lot of people label themselves as an influencer. And if you have no influence over people, you're not an influencer. You can have 1 million followers, 5 million followers, and literally you have no influence. You know what I'm saying? So right. It's like connecting with your audience, giving them the content, and they want to believe in you. So my followers trust me. My followers trust me where I'm selling over $250K a month for Wayfair or this company and this company, because they trust me, because I'm not gonna post any product that I don't believe in, or I know is not good. You know what I'm saying? So it's that trust. It's that trust. I'm not here to just make money off of posting a product. That's not me. I'm not going to do that. And I think that's where you gain the trust in your followers and your community. And that's what I'm all about. And I believe that's what has worked for me.
Let's go.
And the carryover here is that, as you said, you're promoting products that you yourself have used and tested and said, like, all right, this is something that I wouldn't tell my friend or a family member to use or have, or
and I won't do it. I won't do it. Even if I'll the contract will be void. I will not do it. I will not do it.
Right. So Kesha, inspiring ideas. So you're in New Jersey, and you have this project that you're working in-house project that you're working on for yourself, right? Yeah. So let me ask you this: what inspires your design ideas, and how much of your designs are influenced by trends versus by your client's personality, style, and interests?
So one of the main reasons I wanted to move to Jersey was because I wanted to be closer to nature. I absolutely love the outdoors. I'm an island girl. My family's from Belize, and I just was like, I need the sun. I'm a November baby, so I'm a winter baby, but I absolutely love it when it's hot. And so just being able to
Same here.
yes. So, but funny enough, even though I don't necessarily love the winter, there's just something about being surrounded by trees and, just nature and seeing the deers walk around and the chipmunks. I mean, it's just awesome. And so,
Yo, she picked chipmunks.
no, chipmunks, and they're the cutest little things.
That's how you know it's a real answer. That wasn't staged.
No, it's not. It's not. And I just absolutely love them.
Mhm.
But so when I chose this home and the homes that we looked at, I wanted an open floor plan concept. A lot of Jersey homes and most homes design are like colonial style, but I really just wanted open space. I needed to breathe. That's all I kept saying to my husband. I was like, whatever we get, wherever we live, wherever the next stop is, I need to feel like I can breathe and exhale when I walk in. So that is what I got. And so a lot of my inspiration for this particular design from my own home, and even where I pull inspiration from for other projects and clients, is really just from nature. I'm also an artist. My father is an amazing artist. My daughter, if you get to follow me, you'll see her as well, and she's phenomenal. And so art also is a big influence in my life, and of course, with my background in fashion definitely is an influence as well. I like the classic with a little edge. And so you'll see that in how I design. But as far as trends versus, inspiration from the client, I am definitely not a trendy girl. I don't look for them. I'm not interested in the color of the year. And the only reason why is because I feel like sometimes that stuff can date your project also. People are able to look at it and go, oh, wasn't that back in 2007? And so I, don't want to kind of fall into that space. And also, to me, a home, it can't be about trend, not a place that you're going to live in, not where you're investing, not where you're about to spend 10 plus years. Like, it has to be about you. It has to tell your story. It has to be connected to your culture, to your passions, your interest, because it's home. So you definitely don't want. I think trends you can do in clothes because you can take it off and set it in the closet and pull it out when it comes back around again. But definitely not for your home. So I'm 100% connecting to my client's personal story for sure.
So would you say that the home should reflect the person or persons that live in the home? So
Yeah,
the identity is reflective of the items and the placement and the colors and et cetera.
it should. And sometimes clients don't know what that is for them. They struggle there, and that's why they bring a designer on, so that we can kind of dig in and pull some of that out, and also push them a little bit outside their comfort zone as well. So it's about who I am now, and then who I can be, right? So that's also the allure to interior design, right? It's like, okay, well, let's do something a little out the box. Let's do something that's going to make you a little bit uncomfortable, or something that you would walk into someone else's home and go, oh my God, I love that, but I don't think I could ever do that. It's like, yes, you can. You could do that too. And so it's a little bit of hand holding that happens, but I think it opens people up when they're finally able to say, oh, wow, like, I didn't expect this, but I love it. But also, it's not a departure from who I am. I can still connect to it. So it's a balance that you have to strike, because nothing is worse than, creating a space and then you walk away and the client is like, why the hell did I let KESHA talk me into this thing? You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to walk away and them feeling like that within 3 to 5 years. So I'm mindful about the push. I'm mindful about it.
Right. So Aria,
your daughter, though, I want to just highlight your daughter, because she's in the comments. She wants to say, thank you, Mom.
Yes. Oh, I love it. Yes. That's my baby girl, Cabria Asha. And like I said, I'm not just, being a proud mom. I am a proud mom, but the proof is in the work. She's a gifted one, and so definitely check her out as well.
That's so dope. You're at a whole creative family, a whole really artsy family. And
Yes.
speaking of which, I love your neck piece. Can you come in a little closer
Oh.
to see what that is? What is that?
This piece actually is funny. I don't remember where I got it from. So like how you were saying about costume jewelry, how you used to make them, I buy so many that years go by and I'm like, where the hell did I get that from? I really don't even know. But not too long ago, I did an IG live that I host every Wednesday under Halden Interiors. And I did one on statement necklaces. And so I went digging and I found it. So I've been giving it a little bit of shine lately.
I love it. When you're ready to let it dull out a little bit, you can bring it over. We're in Jersey, so come on.
Well, I got you.
Okay, and then we have another comment and or question from Valerie. What is the turning point? I think she was asking Tamara this too, so I'm not sure if Tamara is going to jump back in. What's the turning point from being? Oh, she's back. Okay. What's the turning point from being an influencer to being considered an entrepreneur to making a living or self-supported?
Okay, so from the point of being an influencer, okay, so I think this is what I was trying to explain before is that I feel like people use the term influencer very loosely, right? I feel like so many people, and I'm not knocking it. I feel like a lot of people are like, okay, well, I'm an influencer because I don't know if they reach a certain number or this or whatever. So for me, I feel like I said, if you have an audience, I feel like you're an influencer when you grow your community. Okay, so for me, that's what it is. So I feel influencer, entrepreneurship, it kind of blends in together if it's happening that way, right? So I think it kind of comes hand in hand for me. You know, that's what it was.
Okay.
So
Tamara,
sorry, one more out of the comments. So Valerie also asked, what questions do you ask the client for insight into their style? I think this was directed to KESHA.
So I actually have a questionnaire, like 30 plus question. It grows every year where I sit with the client in person. It's not something I send to them via email. It's in person because I feel like getting someone's interaction or being able to see their body language in person helps me. If you look at my website, it says I start the process by listening and I keep listening. I think one of the key things to being very successful at this is that you have to pay attention to the things that are being said and the things that are not being said. And so body language definitely shares some of that insight. And so through that questionnaire, I'm gaining that insight. But funny enough, on the questionnaire, there's probably about, I would say maybe 20% of it is about design. It's about color. A lot of my questions are about, what's the stress points in your life? What are you looking for this home to do for you? Are you looking for love? Are you wanting more alone time within the family dynamic of your house? Are you trying to be inspired? Are you a person who's very outgoing and so you want home to feel more like a cocoon and a safe haven? Or is it the opposite? Is it that, you're a little bit more of an introvert and so you don't really like to go out and socialize, but you don't mind having people over and you now want to entertain more at home? So those questions about just who you are personally and what you're looking for help to influence the direction of the design. And also with color, with texture, like all of those things help. And I gain a lot of information on how to proceed with the design process from that questionnaire.
So I have a question for you, both of you. Me, myself, I am a minimalist. So I try to practice to be that. How often do you recommend refreshing your home decor? So adding pieces, taking pieces out, different colors. I mean, kind of give us a perspective of what you would recommend, or how often would you recommend refreshing your home decor?
I would say when it no longer inspires you. So if that's a year and you're like, tired of looking at this burgundy pillow, you know what I mean? Or you know what? like, I'm just not having the energy. Like your home should really make you feel good. You know, if any place should make you feel good, it should be at home. So I would say the minute you're not feeling inspired anymore, or that first excitement you got when you brought all that stuff home, if that excitement is starting to wean a little bit, then it's time for a little zhuzh. That's my word.
Little zhuzh.
Time to zhuzh.
And that's what I tell my community also. Like, of course, I'm changing out things every second of the day. Like every other day I'm changing out, literally. And my father's like, I can't keep up with you, Tamara. Oh my God, what do you do? So
that is true.
I have to do this because I'm there to influence you and to show you, okay, maybe this is what you're going to do next week or 6 months from now. But that doesn't mean that that's what my community is going to do. So I want people to understand that I'm an influencer. I have to literally change it up every few days or whatever it is every week. So yes, exactly what KESHA said. It's different when it's your home. You're in your home. You're not going to do that. You're not changing stuff up every few days. You're not doing that. It's, exactly what she said.
That's amazing because I have literally become a complete hoarder over the years. This is my third house, and I think I have stuff from my first house, and I'm completely uninspired by my home. And I'm a complete maximalist.
Maximalist. And Kid said he's a minimalist.
Exactly.
Yeah, I do not like clutter. I don't like too much things being too busy. Like, I like straight lines and
Yeah.
Gotta give the male perspective.
Opposites
fellas.
attracted, right? Opposites
Right.
I'm trying. I'm working on it. I actually set alerts every quarter to purge, and then I snooze them till the next month.
Oh no!
And then the next month. And I can't get. But I'm gonna get to it. I promise. By the end of 2021.
Yeah, you
right.
To make room for new stuff, right?
You remember. This is embedded. This isn't going anywhere. So you got two professionals on here, listening and eyeballing what your statements are. So, all right. So ladies, let's talk about social trends, right? Like, how have social trends made a difference in how you structure your business? So, Tamara, let's start with you on that.
Say it again, Kiss.
How have social trends? How have they made a difference in how you structure your business?
Yeah, that's a good question. I pretty much, I know what the trends are, but I don't know. For me, I still try to keep my community in a certain aspect where it's like, okay, you want to get a little aspect of that, but you also want to do what you feel comfortable with. So I think that's kind of where I lean towards with my content and everything else. I mean, I don't feel like I go too crazy with trends or what's going on. I do, but I kind of keep it in a certain perspective. So, because I really don't want my community or my followers to, do something they're not going to feel comfortable with in the long run. Because like we said before, we know that people are not changing up their homes every few weeks or every month. So I kind of keep it in perspective with doing that.
Okay.
Now, I think I took the question differently. Are you saying like social media type trends, or when
social media?
No, is it? No, I'm asking.
No, I'm asking so I'm asking social trends in general. So you may see things on social media. Friends may go to Home Goods and pick up an item and say like, oh, I saw this. And then, like more or less of like that verbal communication as well. Like just different trends that are happening. And then also in the industry, like, in Europe and, different parts of the world.
No, I think it's important to have your pulse on the industry in that regard, right? So know what's happening. And then you have to, edit. That's another word I like to use. You got to know how to edit. Not everything is applicable, not everything fits your brand also. So you have to know well, okay, is this something that I need to share with my clients? Does this fit my brand? Is it connected to my point of view? And, you know, will it work for my clients also? Because sometimes the things that we see may be beautiful and interesting, but how does it apply to you, right? So a lot of this is all of it, not a lot, all of it is very personal. You know, again, we're talking about our homes, so it's very personal. So I would say again that the social influence for me is I kind of, you know, touch it very gingerly. Like, okay, you know, again, being educated and knowing what's going on, I think is very important because it keeps me sharp. But I then have to kind of take it, dissect it, and see, okay, does this work with what it is that I'm doing with this current project or with this client? Sometimes I feel like some social things that I do end up using are sometimes for you know, just to have a little bit of a wow factor sometimes, because that's usually what social type of you know, trends, let's say, to go back to that word, that's what it's doing. It's giving you this, like, look at this, you know, new hot thing
Right.
that's out, right? So sometimes it's good to bring in a sprinkle of that here and there, but you just don't want your whole experience to be around that, because then I think it's, you know, you start to be able to say, oh, that's from that era, or that is from that time period. And that's just something that you don't want to do.
And I think it depends on, like, you know, for instance, whether like your followers or your client who's ever dealing with it, depends on like where they're at, like what their budget is. If I feel like if you have a client who doesn't care about a budget and has endless money, you can do more of that. Like, you know, a year and a half ago, you have your feathered lamps or whatever that's costing a good 10 grand. Okay, if your client can do that or your follower can do that, fine. But then if it's somebody who is good, it's going to hurt them in another 2 months or a year when that's over, then of course, then you don't direct them towards that. So.
Okay. So let's go into the chat real quick. Let's see here.
Yes. So I mean, I think a lot of the stuff we've already kind of done, but there's some shout outs in here. KB, do you know KB, Tamara? And I don't know if this is
that's Kirk.
Oh,
Kirk Bradshaw.
My brother-in-law. My brother-in-law.
So KB is asking if you offer virtual consultation, and if so, then what's the best way to contact you? But I've already put your IG in the YouTube chat.
Yes.
So do you offer virtual consultation?
I do. It's so limited because I'm so busy with other stuff. So like I get hundreds of messages each day. But yes, you can contact me through Tamara Bradshaw _home.
Okay. And I think your husband's on here too, because he's saying I like things minimized as well, but oh well. So I guess that has a very direct sting on the neck right there for you.
Sure does, because he has to deal with my storage. I got storage closet. Our garage has turned into a storage. So that's the joke that he's making right now, because he doesn't have to. He helps me out with that. Like, you know, poor husbands. He helps me out a lot with that. So thank you, husband.
I love it. I love it. Okay, and then Amber says, "Hey guys." And then Tony Savage says, "I'm waiting on KESHA for my refresh."
Okay.
I don't know. So I guess you're gonna have to refresh. I don't know.
I'm coming.
So refresh. All right. So, ladies, were you able to see a difference or shift in either social media or online engagement since March of last year? So basically, was there an uptick in activity?
Yes. Absolutely. Oh my God.
That's how you know the cha-ching was coming in, baby.
Yeah. Oh my God. I mean, when I started the home decor world, like I had already been taking off, like, you know, where people were like, oh my God, what are you doing? But literally since and it's crazy because you say a pandemic, but it took off because here's the thing, everybody is home, especially back in March when it happened, right? You couldn't leave your home, you couldn't do this. So I think even for the everyday person, it made them realize, okay, I want to make my home an oasis. I want to focus on things I've never looked at in my home, whether it's your cabinets, your bathroom, doing this. So yes, it went crazy. It did since the pandemic. It did.
How about you?
It definitely did. And I wasn't expecting it. Back in 2008, when the recession came, I'm in luxury design. My husband's in entertainment. Our businesses were the first to tank. It's just like, who's spending money on home when they're trying to figure out how to keep the money in their pocket? So when the pandemic hit and people started panicking and folks were losing jobs and not sure about what was going on, we were sitting in here looking at each other like, you ready for this again? You know what I mean? Because we'd already been through that. But it was the complete opposite, especially for me. And definitely based on what Tamara said, is that folks were at home looking at things that they'd never really spent that much time looking at before, from just wanting to refresh perspective. And then also homes started to become a place where it had to be a multifunctional space, because now it was a place that you had to homeschool, or you had to now figure out how to put the gym in there if you were a gym fanatic. Right. And now you have to figure out, well, where am I going to make the space for this? So people were figuring out, like reaching out to designers and wanting help. And so the home decor industry on a whole just literally like exploded. I don't think there's any designer that you can speak to that's not going to say, oh my God, we're all like, what the hell? And it has impacted then the manufacturing industry, the furniture industry. Like, it's a trickle down effect. It's great in one aspect. And in the other aspect, it's been tough because the lead times on things, we're moving at a little bit of a slower pace with regards to that end of it. But as far as just clients calling and reaching out, I mean, just since the top of this year alone, the amount of inquiries that have come through my inbox, I'm like, damn, like I'm literally about to like hire 2 more people. I can't keep up, and I don't want to turn the business down.
Right.
I'm like, let's expand. Like, okay, it's time, So, unfortunate circumstances, of course, that some people are flourishing from it and then others are not, so it's tough to, I feel like I don't want to boast about it. It just is what it is, but just grateful for it for sure. And approaching design a little bit differently. Before it was just like, okay, I have this money, I'm ready. I want to get these things done. But now the calls that are coming in, it's more personal, it's more intimate because of the impact of the pandemic. So I feel like I'm digging in with the clients a little bit differently, and I'm enjoying that process as well.
Yeah, and I think for, at least from my perspective, it's like, how many rooms do you have in your house? How many backdrops can you change? How many times can you put different books and plants and all kinds of stuff behind you because you're on camera all day? Yeah. So I think, with me, it's just like, okay, I gotta change my shirt. Yeah. I just gotta change my shirt. I'm tired of going from room to room because you got to get that background just right. So you got to set it up so many times, right. And it's just, if I had the money, I would definitely change my settings more often than what's probably normal.
Can I share something else too, though? So one of the things that I started, because now for me, 2020, I always do like this checklist, like, okay, Kesha, what's the goal? I get together with my team and we try to figure it out. And one of the things for 2020 was a heavy focus on marketing. And because of the pandemic, that went out the window. I had a lot of really great opportunities lined up to kind of showcase my business and what I do, and they weren't able to happen anymore. So in April, everybody's on IG lives, and I'm like, you know what, could I do that?
Right.
And I'm not, never would think of myself as an influencer like Tamara. Like, I've gone to your page and I see the way, just even how you're talking, you're like my audience and, my clients, and, you're talking in that way because that's a big part of what you do and what your business is about. But for me, it was interesting to see how you're able to tap into that, because I started doing these Wednesday live talk, and they were very simple in the beginning, you know, just talking about home decor and just things that I was inspired by. And I would say it may have been over the summer, and I did a live on how to make a bed, right? Because that's my thing. Like, I can make a mean bed. I mean, it's sharp, okay? And so I was like, you know what, I'm going to do this. And so I set the camera up. We stripped the bed. I mean, literally down to like just the mattress.
Right.
And one of the things I put on the bed was a bed linen spray. I sprayed the bed with the linen. And so with the spray, and my daughter was on it, and she was like, oh my God, Mom. She was like, before you ended the live, 6 people bought that spray. And it wasn't mine. Obviously, I don't have product, but she has been on me since I've been doing this. Like, you need to figure this out. You need to get off of IG Live. You need to get on YouTube. Like, you're playing games, because people are now following me in this very, I understand what Tamara's saying. They believe in me. They want to support me. They care about me. It's like insane. It's like having this extended friendship and fan base in some kind of way that's like, wow, this is so awesome. Like, to be able to connect to people like that, and also have your voice mean something, right? So I'm very new, very, very new in that space, and trying to understand, what do I want my voice to actually say? So it's an interesting journey, and, you know, would love to pick your brain, Tamara, on that type of stuff. But I definitely see it being an extended platform that I may explore. It seems like a lot of work. I will say that it seemed like a job all within itself to be able to push out content like that, but definitely like one that could be extremely lucrative for your business.
Yeah, because here's the thing. It's like, you know, when you get into that and you feel like, you know, your followers, your community is listening to you, you have to understand that, you know, you have to know your worth. Right. So if you're, even if it's the spray that you're spraying on your mattress and people are buying it, okay, you know what? Especially if it's a big company, right? Why are you not making a cut off of that? That's what you have to think about. Like, that's the thing. When I first started doing this, it was like I was promoting, you know, brands, Z Gallery and this and this and that. But you know what? Okay, I get it. But also I get that a lot of these big brands are, you know, they pay all this money for commercials, marketing, and this and that. But influencers, not just any influencers, but the real influencers are selling your products like crazy.
Yeah.
Working hard every day to give you that content. So you need to get a cut of that, right? Mm-hmm. So that's what I started realizing after, you know, kind of when I first started. And I was like, you know what? Wow, my followers are like, you know, they really believe in me for, if I don't know, I post a jar for your kitchen or this for your bathroom. Okay, well, you know what? Like, they saw it through my page, and it's only right. I'm like a marketing tool for your company.
100%.
So, yeah.
So we're getting close to our time now, and this discussion, I hope everyone is listening close, as far as, you know, both of you starting your business, how you got into it, and how it's matriculated into this large following and new ideas, and just the era that we're in now. And both of you touched on something that kind of blends into this question that I want to ask you, is how do you approach your business? That is, how is your business approach to protecting your brand and your intellectual property? How do you protect your IP during this time?
That's a good question. I mean, first off, the branding component is so critical, right? Especially if you're trying to be on a social media platform, you know, website, you know, your business card. What does it look like, feel like? I'm actually right now, I've been interviewing companies, brand strategists, and I am now looking to hire a company. I won't say the name just yet until we're signed on the dotted line, but they're going to help me to rebrand. And there's nothing wrong with my current brand, but as I'm evolving, as I see myself someplace else, I'm like, okay, I gotta meet that, right? I don't need to wait until I get there. I need to look like it now so that it takes me there, right? So so I'm in that process, and I think it's extremely important to the bottom line, the branding component, because it's what people are seeing, it's what they're feeling, it's the experience you're trying to purvey, it's the hook, right? And then the thing is that you can't just hook them though. Once you get them, then it needs to be real, right? You have to be able to deliver what it is that you're selling. You don't want to start off with smoke and mirrors, right? So it's really important to make sure that what you're saying you are is who you are, and that you can deliver what you say you can do. So, but I do feel like that branding component is very important to the bottom line, 100%.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it is very, very. I see Tamara's twirling.
She's in a spiral.
Yeah, but yeah, it's important. It's important, and it's costly too. So so you got to make sure that, like Tamara said before, you got to know your worth, and and invest in yourself if you want people to invest in you.
Right. And I feel like also, like, if you are trying to get into this whole world of being an influencer, when you get to a certain point, back to, you have to know your worth. I have brands still contact me and want to just send me free product. It's not happening. Like, free product at this point, I know what I can do for you. I know what my viewership from my followers means, and I know what they purchase and all of that stuff. So you just have to know your worth. And for me at this point, like, product is never going to be enough. Like, I am a full-on brand, like moving and rolling and rolling. And the thing is, when you speak to these brands and you say to them, no, this is not what I'm going to do, and this is what I charge, and this is that, and they come right back, okay. So it's kind of like they want to test you out to see if you'll do it for free for just product. You have to know your worth.
Of course.
You have to know your worth.
Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, I hire influencers, so I understand. We're always trying to get the best price,
Right.
obviously. But I also, just as you said, I look for engagements. I look to see who is actually connecting with this influencer, because some brands just hire influencers because they've got 30 million followers, and it's just like, no, they're not going to pay your brand any attention. And right after they post your brand, they're going to post 17 more, and there's no engagement. There's no real, like, do you actually like this product? So, and then my next thing is, tomorrow, whenever they send you free stuff, I'll give you my address and I'll pay for the shipping. Thanks.
Okay, always looking for an in. So, with that said, ladies, we're gonna wrap up. One final question. Let's see how fast both of you can give as much detail to this question as much as possible. So, stores have been open, but are opening up more now so than before. And then you also have online shopping, right? So there's this economy shift that's beginning. And it's really important to support retail, especially small businesses. So what are some of the best places to shop for home decor, in your opinion? And also, like, what are some of your favorites? Like, is Amazon one of them? Is that like friend or foe with that? And like, what are like the hottest styles and KESHA, maybe not trends, but what are some of the hottest styles and trends for 2021?
Ooh, so listen, I'm a fan of Home Goods. I think you can always get some goodies up in there. So I'm gonna put Home Goods right up at the top. And then beyond that, it's a little bit of a tough question for me, because how my business is structured, I do a lot of direct buy through vendors and market manufacturers. So I go to High Point twice a year, spring and fall. So I don't really shop at a lot of the big box stores. So those vendors are different. Like no one would probably even know of them, but there are companies like Nathan Anthony Furniture and Lazar and Interlude Home that are just the ones that I really love. But again, just a different kind of access to those to those companies. But as far as like big box stores, I know RH, of course, Restoration Hardware is really awesome. West Elm, I will say CB2 has gotten a new designer within the last 3 to 4 years. They are killing it. I mean, the design and the quality of the product is just so on point. So I definitely look to them to kind of fill in the gaps here and there for some of my projects.
And CB2 is Crate and Barrel, right?
Yeah, well, it's Crate and Barrel, but CB2 is kind of like their more modern line, Crate and Barrel, but also
just want everybody to know, little.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Right.
Crate and Barrel is like the parent company, and CB2 is, kind of like the sister company, and so, but they're amazing. I mean, Crate and Barrel itself is the quality of their product is also really great. But yeah, I would say some of those. And as far as online, Tamara mentioned like Wayfair. Wayfair also has like Paragold, which is another one that I love to connect to as well when needed. So yeah, I would say those different outlets online. I don't do a lot of Amazon. I like to go to them for like my pillow insert. There's like certain things, but as far as like home decor, I would say that Paragold, Wayfair, All Modern, like some of those stores, if you're looking for something that's good and not breaking the bank, like those are some really awesome places to check.
And Home Sense.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, Home Sense. Yeah, because that's like home goods.
Especially for on a notch up for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I pretty much.
Why every time she starts talking, she just go goodbye?
Well, you know what? I'll answer the end part of your question, which I realized I didn't get to, and kind of like, well, what is the in trend? I would say I know grays are out. So grays are definitely out. Everyone used to love grays. I think neutrals are coming back. Whites are coming back. I think people are obsessed with wallpaper, as I am. I feel like now, like instead of picking up a paintbrush, invest in the wallpaper. It will change your life and just really enhance everything else that you're doing in the space. So I would say that those are some of the, I would say kind of current things that people are after right now. What's happening for 2021 for sure.
Okay. www.wallpaper.com. As soon as we go.
Tamara, how about you?
Well, I missed the question because, of course, I don't know what's going on with my Wi-Fi, but the same.
Oh no, same question.
It was I missed the question completely.
Oh, sorry. Oh, okay. So more or less of like what, like, where are the best places to shop for home decor in your opinion? And what are some of your favorites?
The same question. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. So the same thing, basically, I mean, of course, a lot of my followers, they love home goods. I mean, you get great deals, even going to Ross. But that's just for like the accessories, knickknacks and stuff like that. Same thing, West Elm, Z Gallery, Restoration Hardware, High Fashion Home if you're in Houston. And you can also order it online. So all of those stores like that, basically.
Okay. And what would you say are some of the hottest style trends for 2021 for you?
I don't know. I just, I'm very much into glam. That's, I love all the styles, but I'm all about glam, and we're going into spring, so I'm bringing all the content to my followers. We're going into spring with, you have the pastels, you have the bright colors, you're bringing in the florals into your home, the tulips, the this, that. So that's where I'm at right now with hopping into the next month of March and all that.
Okay. Aria, would you like to weasel yourself into another possible couch or painting or vase?
Absolutely. So I am considering putting my house on the market. So I will definitely be tuned in because I'm going to have to make some improvements. But then in the middle of me thinking about all of that, I had to redesign my son's room because he is still homeschooling and he was supposed to be out of here, but their campus is closed. He's at Howard. And so it's going to be interesting to, make this transition. I just love the fact that I have two experts that I can kind of turn to really get some great advice on how to judge my home up. Is that what you said, judge my home up so that I can sell it if I get to that point, and then also to remodel or reconfigure my mind so that I can leave the stuff here and leave my past behind me. So this is not moving into house number 4 with me. None of this stuff. So I'm gonna have
you gotta get rid of the stuff that you're hoarding.
It's
that part first. That
it's
part
good
first.
trouble. It's good trouble.
Ladies, thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you.
Tamara, thank you so much. KESHA, thank you so much. Both beautiful, smart, intelligent, creative, innovative Black women. Please follow them on their Instagram pages, which are listed on the screen. For Tamara and KESHA. Aria, thank you again for another great episode. Again, everyone, go to YouTube, subscribe, tell a friend, pass it on. This video is always up, so you can always watch it again. Take notes if you didn't. And
again,
catch
our last episodes.
The last episodes, yes. All right. So again, as we say for every episode, all we got is us. And we take that very seriously and we have fun with it. So again, thank you everyone for joining us. Catalyst Lifestyle Podcast. I'm your host, Sunkissed, with my co-host, Aria F. Wright, with our guests, Tamara and KESHA. Thank you so much. Tune in again. We'll see you soon. What's that? Say it again.
Thank you for having.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.